Welcome to the Transum podcast, a monthly roundup of the new features on the transum.org website, providing mathematical puzzles, games, learning activities, and the ever-popular mathematics lesson starter of the day. Here's your host, John Tranter.
Before any of your students catch you out on April Fool's Day, be prepared to get your own back with the 1st of April starter of the day. As well as being great fun when you realise the joke, it also reminds the over-enthusiastic students to read instructions carefully. Hello and welcome to podcast number 89 for April 2022. Okay, this month's puzzle. It's about a ship travelling at constant speed away from the coast of Transumvania. A drone flies in the same direction as the ship at 10 times its speed, but doesn't leave the coast until the ship is 180 kilometres away. How far does the drone travel until it reaches the ship? The answer will be next month, but before that, maybe you could rewind this podcast and listen to it again, and do let me know if you get the solution before listening to next month's podcast. Right, it's been a very busy month with many updates and additions made to the website. I have put in countless hours into coding, filming, checking, designing, and corresponding, but it's all worthwhile when I see that every day thousands of trophies are being earned by students around the world. So here is a brief roundup of the upgrades and additions. First of all, tessellations has had a complete makeover. There are the sandbox pages where students can practice putting shapes together without leaving any gaps. There are also 2 exercises and a gallery. In fact, I've started taking pictures of tessellations in the real world wherever I go now to add to the gallery. Have a look at that. Do you know the attributes that determine if a polygon tessellates? Maybe this activity will help you. Now, the links to all the things I'm talking about in this podcast can be found at transum.org/newsletter. Okay, another new activity is called polygon hunting. It's a challenge to find all the different polygons that can be drawn by joining dots in a certain 9-pin pattern. Each time you create a new polygon, you can take a picture of it, sort of virtually take a picture of it, and keep it as a record of your progress. In fact, you could then sort the pictures that you've taken so that there's some sort of logic, some strategy in the way you're finding these polygons. So the activity is based on an article called Polygon Hunting, Extending the Field by W.A. Eubank in a 1984 publication of the magazine Mathematics in School. That's from the Maths Association. Vector Connectors is a brand new activity thanks to a suggestion from a subscriber and works well with the existing Vectors activity, which has been updated and extended. There are 2 new help videos which go with these activities, and I have in fact just put the finishing touches to a 3rd set of exercises called Vectors, Magnitude and Direction. So I guess that's what they call a trilogy.
You can find Transum Mathematics at www.transum.org.
The old activity, using graphs to solve equations, now has 3 new levels, but not many trophies have been claimed for these new levels yet. Maybe they're a bit too niche. Time will tell. Okay, whether it be Songkran or Easter or whatever you call this time of year, most Transum users, I'm guessing, have a holiday from school around about, sometime during this month. I invite you and your students to enjoy the collection of Easter activities, which is a new collection, and it includes plenty of end-of-term activities to do in school and a large number of holiday activities for students to do at home. So again, the link will be in transum.org/newsletter. That's where you can find the link to the Easter activities. So finally, the answer to last month's puzzle, which was a right-handed dice is placed on the near left square of a chessboard with the number 1 facing uppermost and the number 2 face facing left. The edges of the dice are the same length as the sides of the chessboard squares, and the dice is alternately rolled 1 square forward, then 1 square to the right. That's repeated until it reaches the far right square. So what number is on top of the dice now? So the answer is, drum roll, 2. A couple of people chose to think of the unfolded nets of the dice being laid across the chessboard to show which numbers were either on the bottom or the top of the dice at each square. It can then be seen that the numbers on the leading diagonal of the chessboard were a repeating sequence of 3 powers of 2. I extended the solution, generalized it a little bit more, to an n by n grid of squares instead of 8 by 8. And I got the formula 2 to the power n minus 1, in brackets, mod 3, where the mod function is what you get when you divide the first number by the second. It's the remainder. So you can see that written down in the newsletter at transum.org/newsletter. But otherwise, stay safe, take care, seize the day. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you for downloading and listening to the Transum podcast. You can find the website at www.transum.org, where you're welcome to use all of the activities absolutely free, or jump in with both feet and become a Transum subscriber.